today. From Lambeau Field in Green Bay, Wisconsin. It's Week 15 of the NFL on EA Sports. And the Green Bay Packers taking on Lamar Jackson and the Baltimore Ravens.
This is such a special place. You drive through the streets of Green Bay, no tall buildings, quaint houses, and then boom, right there in the middle of the neighborhood is iconic Lambeau Field. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Baltimore Ravens and the Green Bay Packers. With Charles Davis, as always, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, you talk about storylines in this one. I think it begins and ends with our two quarterbacks, certainly two of the best in the business.
And nowadays, I don't think you get by for long periods of time without a top-flight quarterback. The way the game is played, with all the responsibility he has and how the game flows through him, if he's not on the top of his game, your team's not going to benefit at all.
Fielded near the back of the end zone, and he opts to not bring this one out. The first drive will start at the 25. Veteran Green Bay quarterback Aaron Rodgers ready to go for drive number one along with the rest of this Packer offense.
He had the numbers of a game last week that if you win, you talk about him being a gritty guy, managing the game, getting it done. But they lost. So obviously 2 interceptions, 1 touchdown pass, that's not going to be good enough. Got to get that changed around.
Now the man from UTEP, this is Aaron Jones. And this will be a gain of 5 as he gets it to the 30.
Jones, the ball carrier.
North of 100 yards, the 2 scores. And, you know, you got to give a lot of credit to the O-line. We talked a lot about him, but offensive line was good too.
They're obviously in sync with each other, whether it's zone blocking, power running game, no matter what. He understands how to read them and find the creases that they provide.
And he'll be upended at the 33 following a gain of 3. And guess what? It brings up 3rd down. So we'll look here at the key inactives, and we got this list before the game down on the field. They tell us the same thing every time, don't they? Next man up.
No excuses. Be ready to play. That's the mantra of every organization. The key is having guys on the roster who are capable of filling in and playing at a high level. That's when you know you've drafted well, scouted free agents well, and stocked your team just the way you're supposed to.
And he's going to have a Packers first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. 27 yards there on a very nice 3rd down conversion. And this, I mean, it's certainly something to watch out for. He is not afraid to call his own number on plays like that. And here he takes it for good yardage.
And we know this defense prepared all week for this, but sometimes when you see it in person, it's a whole different ball game. And all that preparation, it goes right out the window.
Give him 10 yards on the pickup, and that'll bring up a 2nd and just about a few inches here.
Complete to Kendrick Bourne. 10 yards on the pickup. It's 2nd and inches. At the
Here's Rodgers. Under pressure, and he will go down. Sacked back at the 38. Justin Matabike. It'll go as a loss of about 8 as he gets in there to drop him.
Well, they had the right down and the definite distance to take a shot downfield, but it didn't work out the way that they had envisioned.
No, that's a situation where if you take a sack close to the line of scrimmage, it's not that bad, but a loss like that, you can't take a sack there.
Yeah, absolutely. The one thing you cannot do, they did.
And he's going to have a Packers first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. Nice job keeping that opening drive alive, and they're in plus territory, that part of the field where you really want to convert on 3rd down. They did.
Big-time pickup for them, and now I think the aggressive play callers think to themselves, this part of the field, I take my shot at the end zone, because the closer you get to the end zone, the field gets condensed. Makes it a lot tougher to run those routes. You still got a chance to actually run past people right now. Take your shot at the end zone early in the down and distance count.
second down, it's Jones. Stopped short of the 25. The second effort couldn't free him. They follow up the first down 1-yard run with a minimal gain of 2.
Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
He's going to go down here, a sack. They push him back to the 34. Jalen Ferguson coming in to drop him for a loss of 8, and it also brings up 4th. Charles, a little bit of feast or famine on this drive. They moved the ball okay, but they've been sacked twice now.
And they've got to figure out how to plug that leak a little bit, right? Keep them away from the quarterback because when he's not being hit, as you mentioned, they're moving the ball well.
Is good. Makes the score Packers 3. Ravens nothing.
Even though they didn't find the end zone, they have to be pretty pleased with how they moved the ball on the ground because we know that that was one of their big goals in this game.
And that really goes through the entire offense because when you're running the ball effectively, just about everyone's involved. It's not just the guy carrying the football. It's everyone blocking for him, both inside and on the perimeter.
The Ravens offense going to work, and as usual, it's Lamar Jackson, the former MVP of the league, at the helm.
And while he won't admit it because his team lost the game, he had some fun in the last one.
He threw for over 400 yards.
I mean, there's no getting around it. As a QB, yeah, okay. We lost the game, but boy, that felt good flinging it around. Now he's got to figure out how to do the exact same thing, yet turn it into a win.
First carry now for Gus Edwards. And he'll wind up with about 6, up past the 30 to the 31.
Josh Jackson.
A look at the numbers last week for Edwards. 20 carries, 65 yards, and a touchdown as well.
And well-liked by his teammates. In fact, I got on good authority, even though I'm not an investigative reporter, that in their team meeting this week, the offensive line stood up and said, Coach, we've got to have better yardage for this guy. He's number 9 in the league. He's got to be in the top 3 before the season's over. Let's run the ball.
Buying time to his left. And he's going to keep it here. And past the 40 before he's out of bounds. Lamar Jackson, such a threat with those legs, able to improvise and get the first.
Offensively, they liked their situation, so they tried to take a shot downfield, but no one was open. So it was tuck it in run time, and he picks up a first down.
Edwards now on 1st and 10. And he will be brought down at about the 43 that time.
With the give to Gus Edwards.
Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
Defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high-powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20, because to me, that's the magic number. 20-point score gives yourself you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
And his throw's going to be incomplete. He was looking for his top. In Mark Andrews there, 3rd down here. From the gun, Jackson. Now the Packers give him nowhere to go, and they bring him down. Preston Smith in there to get him, and on the season now, that is 9 sacks for him.
Okay, was it a breakdown in protection? Did the running back not pick him up? What does it really matter? Sometimes it's just a great play made by the defense. Big-time sack.
That'll be a 41-yard punt, just 1 yard on the return. And it'll be Packer football here, 1st down and 10. The Packers offense here coming back out for their 2nd drive. They've got a 3-0 lead and the football as they start 1st and 10. They'll start out on the ground with Jones. Stopped at the 24-yard line after a gain of 5.
Jones, the ball.
Brandon, 5 yards on that run. Let's get back to the huddle and make sure if you're back, you spend time with your offensive line and give them credit. Hard to move those 300-plus pounders at the line of scrimmage, and they did for a significant chunk of yardage.
On second down now, it's Jones, and he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there. That one, a first down pickup of 8.
Usually we see runs like this as the defense breaks down later in the game, but this guy's setting the tone early, running through all types of tackles and putting the defense back on its heels.
Now a first down carry by Jones. And he'll get this only up to about the 35. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
3 brings up second and 7.
That's a jet sweep. This is Adams. And he'll get this up to about the 40.
The wide receiver.
Let's just make this one succinct. Nice job there. All 11 guys on defense diagnosing the jet sweep and putting it down.
Brings up 3rd and 2.
They'll try and run for it with Jones. Room here to run. And he's going to take it in. Touchdown, Packers. Aaron Jones, his 9th touchdown of the season. And the Packers add 6 to their lead.
Earlier in the week when they had their scouting report meeting, this was the explosiveness that they talked about trying to contain. They were concerned about it all week, yet he still did it to them. Wonder how that's going to carry over the rest of the game.
Forbath, the extra point, and the lead grows to 10-0. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And he'll be stopped up at the 25.
The Ravens take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. They look to get something started. They need to, down 10-0 early as they've got it 1st and 10. Throwing is Jackson. Setting up the screen here to Edwards. No gain on the screen there at 2nd down.
That was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly. Had the completed pass, but for no gain, stopped right at the line, so it's 2nd and 10. Flush to his right. And this is going to be caught. He won the fight for the football. 12 yards there and a first down.
That is definitely what we call on defense an uh-oh play. And what you mean by that is against Lamar Jackson, when you see him out of the pocket, your first thought is, uh-oh, he's going to try and run it. How do I get to him and get him on the ground? And guess what? That didn't happen, and his receivers took advantage.
The 2 yards on the carry there, it'll be 2nd down.
Well, sometimes as a running back, you've got to be able to improvise when the hole's not where you expect it to be. But in this case, there wasn't any improvisation that he could do that was going to work. Kind of like if you're trying to be a comedian on open mic night at the Improv and you run into a tough crowd.
And his throw is incomplete. Trying to get it to Willie Snead there. And that takes us from 2nd to 3rd down.
Well, they've got man coverage on the outside, and my scouting report on these DBs tells me that they love to take matters in their own hands. They want man coverage, not zone. And there was good coverage there that forced the incompletion.
So the failure to connect on 2nd down, that leaves them staring up here at a 3rd and 8. Being chased out left. Now he'll square up and throw deep left sideline. And that will be incomplete.
Every offense tells you they want to come out and start fast. That's not unusual at all. But this group, they've yet to get much rolling through their first 2 drives. It looks like they're going to have to give up the football again after this one.
A 41-yard punt there with no return. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. The Green Bay offense ready to take over. And it's a unit last drive that did it all on the ground, Charles.
And they controlled it from the interior. Big on big, right? Offensive lineman versus defensive lineman. But you know, in order to keep the football moving downfield, other people have to get involved as well. Your wide receivers, your tight ends, lead runners, anything that you have possible to get in front and keep the ball moving.
Well, now the defense may be looking out for a pass coming up. Throwing again on 2nd down. Rodgers, he'll let this go deep for Bourne. And that will be incomplete. Rodgers tried to dial up the long way out there, but it'll be third down. And that one off the mark behind him. Incomplete. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. Now Rodgers. And this is going to be incomplete.
Well, they came up with points in their first two possessions, but it looks like they'll come up empty here on their third drive. The defense finally starting to get locked into them a little bit. Might have to go a little bit deeper into their playbook on their next possession.
And taken right on the 30. So a good punt there, but a very strong 14-yard return. And the Ravens, they'll take over. And now Baltimore gets set to take the field. And down on the scoreboard, certainly needing to avoid what happened on the last drive, punting the football.
Sense of urgency has to take over for them here. They know the score. They know the situation. And by the way, the punter no longer exists for their offense. That's how they have to treat this drive.
They need points.
Big time.
Well, any lane that might have been open there was closed pretty quickly, and that was because the defensive front, they won that battle at the point of attack at the line of scrimmage. They used great leverage, held their spot, and stacked him up.
Rush coming, and he's taken down. Preston Smith has now recorded 10 sacks on the season.
And we talk about players blitzing all the time. I often laugh and sometimes call it just straight-ahead pursuit. What a running start right back to the backfield for him.
Yeah, it really didn't give anybody a chance to get up there and stop it.
No, I mean, that's really, really difficult. You're asking a whole lot anyway, but when he gets that kind of a start and comes through clean, oftentimes the advantage definitely goes to the defensive player.
He's going to run, but he's got a long way to go. And he's able to get this to the 40-yard line before he's out of bounds. That was no 3rd and 2. That was 3rd and 16, but they get the conversion anyway. 10-0 the score after one on EA Sports.
Ravens nothing.
They'll run on first down. It's Edwards. And he'll take this one down to about the 40. Kenny Clark, the big D tackle there to make the stop.
Well, sometimes you just have to give credit to the defense. Great job there at the point of attack, holding up. They won their battles at the line of scrimmage, left him no space to try and run. A really nice job swarming to the ball carrier.
Jackson now off the bootleg, out to his left. Now he'll square up and throw deep left sideline. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there, trying to take a shot, but it's third down.
They've had multiple opportunities on offense and still haven't scored any points. Felt like they wanted to loosen things up, throw it downfield, and see if maybe they could get a big play and a quick strike.
He may try and run for this. He's going to go out of bounds, but he takes this one down just shy of the 20. I guess no need to force it when you can do that instead. First down, 18-yard gain.
Well, we've seen Jackson already have success in the first half running the football, and he gets good yardage on the ground again there. I mean, I know it's a $64,000 question, CD, but how do they contain him better?
You have to win against the blockers ahead of you. If those guys even occupy a defender for even a half a second, then Lamar Jackson is gone. You've got to take those blockers and move them so that you have clear vision of Lamar Jackson, and hopefully you can hem him in.
Another nice gain, 16 yards there and a first down again.
It's worth noting when you talk about Jackson's running ability, the Baltimore wide receivers had just over 1,400 receiving yards combined last year. And Charles, that was the fewest yards by a wide receiver group in the NFL since 2011.
And partner, I expect that number to go up this year. Last season, Lamar Jackson got very comfortable with his tight end group. In fact, he had one tight end that went to the Pro Bowl. But I think now, because of his ability to run the ball, it'll bring defenders closer to the line of scrimmage, and you'll see more big plays from the wide receivers downfield.
Second and goal from inside the 5. Off the bootleg. Jackson on the move to his left. Got a man, it's caught for a Ravens touchdown. Virgil Green, his first touchdown on the year. And the Ravens have cut it to within a score.
The previous play is under review.
And there's going to be a stoppage here. The booth wants to take another look at this potential touchdown.
Justin Tucker lining up for the...
It took them an extra look, but they found out it is a touchdown indeed. The official says this one counts. And they're back within a field goal. It's 10-7 now. So that drive consumes 9 plays all told. And it's capped off by the Baltimore score.
Justin Tucker to kick off for Baltimore.
Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown.
Taken about 7 yards deep. And he'll decide to not bring this one out as their drive will begin at the 25.
And Green Bay getting ready to go as they take the field. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means they're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. They'll start the drive with a carry by Jones. And they're able to get this one across the 35. The drive starting with a first down, 11 yards on that pickup. We've seen him break off a big run already in this game, and for a second, that one looked like it might be another.
Yeah, I think that any defense would say, look, we can't let him get to the second level because sometimes he'll break off the big run on his own, but oftentimes you get additional blocking at the second level, which gets you deeper into the secondary.
And they'll keep on the ground with Jones. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. Give him 10 there. Good enough for a Packer first. Down.
First and 10 at the 46-yard line.
Rodgers with a give. It's Aaron Jones. And some room to roam now. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. Another big hitter there. This one good for 18.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember, the last drive, they went 3 and out.
So in Raven territory now. Here's a first and 10 at the 36. Adams hauling it in from Rodgers. And they're able to get this one past the 30 down. The 25.
10 more yards. That's another Packers first down. First and 10 at the 25-yard line.
On first down, Rodgers. Over the middle, that's caught by Adams. And they'll work it inside the 15-yard line before it's all said and done. 12 more yards for him there. It's a first down.
Good, strong throw and catch right there. And so far in this game, the alleys have been open for them to get completions, and they're taking advantage of it.
Into the red zone. It's Rodgers. He goes right back to Adams. That's complete. And he'll be brought down here at the 3-yard line. That one good for 10 yards. And it'll be second and very short.
10 yards on the pickup. It's second and inches. at the 3-yard line.
From the shotgun, a give to Jones. And he will get this into the end zone. Touchdown, Green Bay. Aaron Jones, his 10th touchdown of the season, 2nd of the game. And the Packers are able to stretch that lead out further. And always a good first half when you can hit pay dirt twice.
And it never hurts to have that good feeling as the game moves on. Just think about halftime. If that's all he gets, he'll just sit there at the half and think, all right, 2 already. I get some more. I get some more. And it'll be encouraging his offensive line to create some space.
Taken in at the 3. And able to get this out to the 25.
Over 1st and 10. At their own 25-yard line.
This Ravens offense heads back out there, led by Lamar Jackson. His feet, what he's been able to do individually running the ball, it's kind of kept him in this game.
No doubt about it, because if he's not making the plays that we've seen, they are really getting blown out in this one. I don't think they have any chance at all. He's keeping them in striking distance, hoping to get some help from the defensive side of the ball so that maybe some of these plays can turn into plays that maybe put them in the lead.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. They trail by 10, 17-7 as they come up on a 1st and 10. They'll run with Edwards here to begin the drive. And the running lane's non-existent in this first half as they'll stop him behind the line. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
I have a feeling they'll stay committed to running the football, especially on the early downs. They just haven't had a whole lot of success just yet.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. From the gun, it's Jackson, escaping the pressure right. He uncorks it for Snead. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long one way out there, but it'll be 3rd down.
Early on, the running game's been working well, and the offensive line has been pleased by that. The thought process there, catch those safeties creeping up, trying to help against the running game. They tried to hit them over the top, unsuccessfully.
On 3rd down, Jackson eluding the pressure right. And a throw there going to be incomplete.
That was an interesting look there because as soon as he got outside the pocket, I thought he was going to take off and run for yardage. But what often happens now with these quarterbacks who can move, defenses want to try and keep bodies in front of them, and I think that discouraged him from taking off and made him try a pass downfield that fell incomplete.
Call it an even 40-yard punt, 7 though on the return, and that will come the offense as they take over. About set to get this drive started, the Green Bay offense at the line. A good balance attack for that last touchdown drive they had. Now it's time. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by Marlon Humphrey. And they have possession, and they have it at the 38-yard line.
1st and 10.
Well, if you go by the numbers, you'll find as the temperature goes down, so does the passing efficiency. And now that we're in December, even the routine throws are going to be harder for the quarterbacks. And this one, it winds up getting picked off.
After the interception, here's Jackson. Forced out to his left. And he just gets rid of it. Throws it away. A wise move there. Looked like nobody open. Now 2nd down.
That was nice work there defensively to force incompletion. Now, even though this drive started in plus territory, they're still not in field goal range yet. So they can work towards another couple of stops and not allowing that turnover to hurt.
And he still has yet to get on track in this first half as they're going to stop him behind the line. 2 yards the loss, and now 3rd and 12.
The running lanes have definitely not been there for him here in the first half, and I don't think it's all been his fault. His offensive line hasn't given him much space. A loss results there.
Steps away. He can run for it, and he will. And he gets it down a yard or 2 shy of the 30 before he's out of bounds.
Okay, he's not going to get the first down, but this is still a nice job of buying some time and then running to get to the sideline and get out of bounds and avoid the big hit.
From here, this would have been a 48-yarder, but no, they're going to go for it. Here's Jackson. Hit as he throws, and this is going to be incomplete. The Ravens go for it, but come up empty. And the Packers D comes up with a big stop. Rodgers will bring the pack up with a 1st and 10 at the 31-yard line.
From the gun, he'll set up to throw.
The left side throw complete to Adams. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield.
That certainly has to feel good. It's not all the time that the play caller should get all the credit. Sometimes I think in the huddle, the quarterback just says, hey, who's going to make a play for me? I just need something right here. And the end result there, nice first down. Drive keeps moving.
A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion. Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. Out of the shotgun, it's Jones. And he'll get it inside the 40 to the 39. 2 yards, good enough for a first.
Brandon, you know that expression? He just does what he does. It sounds trite, doesn't it? But in this case, it's perfectly apt. This is one of the better runners in the NFL. And all he does is just find avenues, find ways to pick up key first downs and big runs.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Shotgun now for Rodgers. But when this ball's tipped and intercepted. Picked off near the 34. And they have the football and will set up shop at the 33-yard line. 2nd straight drive now here, Charles, that have ended with an interception.
And I just wonder, because I don't think it's going to rattle him necessarily, but I also wonder if it's going to unnerve him a little bit. Does it lead to another one? Or does he find a way to pull it together and become sharp again?
The drive starts with a carry by Edwards. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
This defense is really flown around in the first half. They've gotten to the ball carrier before they can really get started. Offense going to have to come up with something else in order to try and get this running game going.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. Sliding out of the pocket. On the run, he'll let this go. And got his man, complete. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. The previous play, they barely got back to the line of scrimmage. Now they pick up over 30 yards. So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. Jackson going to give this one to Edwards. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8. 2nd and 2.
That's a really nice job by them picking up the run blitz and detecting it and blocking it and turning it into a nice run. And a lot of times you think if you blitz a running play, you're going to smother it. But a lot of the blitzers, they come in a little bit high. They don't have great leverage, and they're easily blocked and turned to the side. 2nd and 2 is prime time for a little bit of a gamble, isn't it? Open up the playbook, go play action, toss that bad boy deep. But in this situation, go ahead and give it to your back. Let him pick up the first down. Keep the sticks moving.
He had to fight that time. Ran through one tackle, but ultimately he's only going to get back to the line of scrimmage.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. And now Jackson will look to throw it. Rolling to his left. His throw incomplete.
I know he was trying to get the completion downfield, but the way this game has gone, with a few of the runs he's made along the way, he should have kept the ball and taken it with his feet downfield. That's the big play that shreds a defense. Instead, he thought to himself, I'm a quarterback, I've got to throw it. He bailed out the defense with that incompletion.
Steps away to his left. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Rashawn Gary drops him for a loss of 12, and it also brings up 4th down.
4th down.
And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. And we'll remind
remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. Tucker's kick is good. And they're back within a touchdown. It's 17-10.
17. Ravens 10.
These kickers now, it's like we take them for granted. Kicks like that used to be such a big deal, and now you just expect them to make it.
Yeah, you're exactly right, and we shouldn't take them for granted, but I have a theory about it. You want to hear it?
Yep.
They are more athletic now than ever before. Talk about kickers. Trace their backgrounds, trace their histories. You'll find that they were big-time athletes all along, but their kicking was so prevalent that we made them specialists.
Well, and now those 50-plus yarders seem easy for some reason. Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. And that'll be incomplete. And that one going to come up short. Low throw. An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25.
At the 25-yard line.
Throwing again. Rodgers. Man open. That's Marquez Valdez-Scantling. And he's upended at the 33, following a good pickup of 8. That'll leave him with a 3rd and 2 coming up. They got 8 yards there. Second down pass play got him 8 yards. Now they've got a 3rd and Rodgers intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off by Marlon Humphrey. And he will bring this back. It's a pick 6 and a Raven touchdown.
It goes without saying, but I'm going to say it anyway. That's a ball he would like to have back, and it lands right in the lap of the defender from there. He doesn't have very far to go before he gets to the end zone, and he got there in a hurry.
Tucker now to add the point after.
The extra point.
And he gets it to go, and we're all even. 17 apiece. So the defense creating some points, not only getting the interception, but then returning it to the end zone for the pick 6. 17-17 the score. All even to this point as the kick's away. Taken in the end zone. And no effort to bring this one out. It's a touchback.
At their own 25-yard line.
The Green Bay offense now about ready to take possession here. And with still more than a minute to go in the half, time to try to mount a drive.
And I would think that they would have to. This is today's NFL. You got to push it whenever you get an opportunity. You can never have enough points with the high-powered offenses that you face. And analytics will tell you, try and score when given the opportunity.
And he's going to be dropped following a pickup of 7 past the 30 to the 32. And he went in route there from the slot for the completion.
Love how he runs his routes because it's all setting up your defender. Give him a little something one way, take him the other way. Head and shoulder fake. Sometimes you make one step to the outside, then break it inside. Really well-run route.
And he gets this up across the 35 before he's out of bounds. Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the conversation post because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag, but you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
Rodgers now on 1st down. Dancing to his left. The ball comes out, but this will fortunately wind up out of bounds. Good coverage downfield led to him taking off, picking up the 1st down on a 13-yard run. You can almost see inside his face mask there the look of relief. He coughed it up, but it goes out of bounds. They keep it.
Someone carrying around the lucky horseshoe, aren't they? If I were him, I'd go out and play the lottery after that one. A very fortunate man.
And they're operating in plus territory here. They're thinking points. Definitely don't want to lose the football at this juncture. That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1. Now Rodgers. He'll drop this underneath for Jones. And they'll bring him down at the 18-yard line. Now the Packers going to go ahead and use the 2nd of their timeouts as they stop it here with just under 40 ticks to go in this 1st half. So from inside the 20, here's 1st and 10 at the 18.
Inside the red zone here, they'll look to throw. And he's wrapped up, taken down, back at the 25.
Justin Madubuike
Picks up his second sack of the afternoon. And it's never good to take a sack. You really don't want to take one down here in this part of the field, down near the red zone.
Not at all, because you're already pretty much assured of a field goal. But you take a big sack, it could push you out of range, and that's why defenses get a little more aggressive in this situation. They're almost conceding the 3 points. They want to push you back and try and take you out of that.
So on third down, the field goal unit will come out as they'll try to get 3 before half. From the left hash, this from 34. And the 10-year vet knocks it through the goalpost. And the Packers are off to a 3-0 lead.
The score, Packers 20.
So we will not go into the lockers tied. We do have a leader in the clubhouse, so to speak.
Man, it's only 3 points. Doesn't seem like much, but it looms big the way that they got it done right before the half ended.
And they'll get him down inside the 30 at the 27.
Take over 1st and 10 at their own 27-yard line.
Well, the white flag coming out as they line up to kneel on it. And with time running short here, they'll simply take a knee, and that should do it for half number 1. So we've hit halftime. Just a field goal separating these two teams at the break. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Okay, Brandon, time for a sprint to the finish, as it's time to get you caught up with what's happening around the NFL here in a pivotal Week 15. We'll start with 2 of the AFC's premier teams of the 1970s. Miami, traveling up to Heinz Field to take on Pittsburgh. And it's the Dolphins who are out in front in the second quarter. The Dolphins seem to be on their way to what would be a good victory. From there, it's off to Indianapolis to check on the Colts at Lucas Oil Stadium. And you can see they have the lead over the visiting Tennessee Titans. T.Y. Hilton, a touchdown reception. Lastly, let's head to Paul Brown Stadium in Cincinnati. See what's happening with the Bengals. And they trail the visiting Lions in that one. The Lions trying to gut this one out, as it would be a good victory for them if they could get it. Meanwhile, in our game, no shortage of offense, as each team has been able to move the ball effectively. Will the defenses show up in the second half? To find out, we give it back to our commentators, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Thank you, sir. A field goal separates these two teams as we come back for this second half. It's been a shootout so far. We'll see which defense can make the adjustments as we get back underway in the second half. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. Out come the Ravens now. They'll go on offense first here in this third quarter. They're close game, but they're going to need to do a little bit better probably here in half 2, no?
I would agree with that totally. I would guess it in the locker room. They talked about cleaning up some of the errors, but overall, I think they wanted to be positive with them. Guys, we're right there. Just not playing as well as we need to. Let's pick it up, and we still have a chance to win this game.
Yeah, they do. We'll see if they can pick it up. Virgil Green is tied in, the intended receiver. That'll bring up second down.
Well, we saw that he had a lot of success last week throwing the football, but that hasn't translated to this week. But with his team behind, I don't expect him to back off. I expect him to keep firing.
Again on 2nd and 10, it's Jackson. Throwing over the middle, and it's incomplete.
As soon as I saw him break contain and get outside, my first thought and my eyes gravitated downfield, because nowadays, most of these quarterbacks, when they do that, they want the big play downfield. They don't want to throw it short. In this case, he took the shot. It fell incomplete.
An important play right here, 3rd and 10.
And I would expect pressure here.
Rolling to his right. He may try and run for this. And he gets this up to the 34, out of bounds there. Now, after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. Well, he gets attended to. We'll step aside.
And how about this one now? In their own territory, a gutsy call. They're going to go for this on 4th and a yard. Needing the tough yards, they run it with their fullback. And he's got the first down yardage before he's brought down at the 42. A big roll of the dice on 4th and 1, but it pays off. They convert.
I don't care what he's listed in the program. Fullback, running back, tailback, it doesn't matter. He ran that play like a fullback. Just like the old days when we saw the fullback dive. How about him picking that one up?
Only needed a yard on 4th down. That's what he's there for, right?
Exactly. Line him up, short yardage situation, and say, here it is, big man. Go get it.
Kenny Clark.
I have to think a major focus of the halftime meetings had to be figuring out how to create space for the running game to get operating.
Well, what you pointed out to me at half seems accurate. That line has struggled to sustain blocks.
Yeah, I would agree with that totally. They've got to focus on staying on their double teams at the first level, make sure that block's secured before they slide off and try and chip someone at the second level.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. Off the bootleg. Jackson. They'll roll him out right. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's 3rd down.
Have to give some credit to the defender on that when he read all of his keys perfectly and got a great break on the ball and able to force that incompletion.
After an incomplete pass on 2nd down, that'll leave him trying to convert on 3rd and 9. Jackson from the shotgun. Flushed out right. He can run for it, and he will. Good coverage downfield led to him taking off, picking up the first down on a 13-yard run.
Normally we're talking about a quarterback duel where they're matching each other pass for pass. How about the footwork in this one? Both of these guys running the ball well.
Yeah, they mixed in the run game. You're exactly right. Now, both coaches might not like how much their quarterbacks have taken off, but another example right there of just good mobility. Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down.
No gain on the play.
Delayed give there out of the gun. Defense was ready.
And I'm not a big fan of a draw play out of the shotgun formation because the quarterback's not having much action where he's getting away from the line of scrimmage. He's catching the football, making a little head fake, and then handing it off. You should be able to read it as they did there.
Buying time to his left. He's going to take off with it. He's got the first down here inside the 30. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30.
16 yards.
A nice job there on the escape and scramble. A first down, a 16-yard gain.
Partner, as a quarterback, sometimes you just got to know when the clock has gone off in your head, it's time to go. Tuck it and get all you can.
And he went nowhere. He'll lose yardage back to the 29. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
On 2nd and 11 now. Jackson. He's got his tight end on the corner route. It's complete. And he gets it all the way down inside the 10 and mark him at the 5. Last play they got stuffed at the line. Different story here, over 20 yards.
I love the drive they're working on here because they know they can take the lead with a touchdown. And so far on this drive, so good. They moved the ball down the field with very little resistance defensively. But they better be prepared for some adjustments to come their way now.
And he's going to get him about 3 yards closer. He's down to about the 2. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the 3rd quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
They'll look to run with Edwards, and he'll get in. Touchdown, Baltimore.
Touchdown.
Gus Edwards, touchdown number 15 on the year. And the Ravens have retaken the lead. Well, solid blocking up front from the guys on the offensive line allowed him to get in for the touchdown.
Yeah, some might say that the guys on the offensive line were in concert. I used to have a coach who called it marrying up, meaning when you get on a guy, you just stay right there, and each guy has his own assignment. That allowed the runner to make the big move towards the end zone.
Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. Taken about 7 yards deep. And this will not be returned. It'll come out to the 25.
At their own 20.
So here are the Packers now. They get set for their first possession of half number 2. They trail offense, first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned, because some teams script to start a half. Other teams just go, okay, these are the sequence of plays we want to run. These things worked well for us. And sometimes they throw in that big chunk play right away.
Shocker.
Try and get after them early and try and create a big play to give themselves some momentum.
See what they have up their sleeve. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on, third down.
Well, that one was all about the defender making life difficult for the receiver. Very tough for a guy to hold on to the football through all that contact. He ends up forcing the incompletion.
And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. Give him 18 on that play, and Green Bay has the first as well.
That's a play that will likely be forgotten when you talk about big moments in this game. But plays like this are critical to keep drives going. And if points result, we'll call this play significant.
They're going to get about 3 here out of this first down run, and that'll bring up 2nd and 7.
That's just a pile of bodies there, and that's when you kind of find out who's a tough guy, right? Who can stand up and make a play. It was only a 3-yard run, but for both sides, they had to walk away from that feeling like, okay, I can stand up when the going gets tough in here.
From midfield, here's Rodgers. That's complete to Jake Butt.
Rodgers' pass complete to Jake Butt. Out of bounds just past midfield.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target, and he's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
On is the punter Scott here as he gets this one away. And this will be out of bounds at the what here? The 12-yard line.
First and 10. At their own 12-yard line.
Lamar Jackson marching back onto the field. He is looking to help his team build their lead after trailing at halftime. They've got to like the spot they're in right now.
They have to love it, but as you and I both know, cliche alert coming here, you're only as good as your last possession. But I think that they like, as you said, the spot they're in and how confidently they're playing at this point.
But again, just a one-possession lead, looking to expand that now. Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete. Devin Duvernay, the intended receiver, but it's going to be 2nd down. He misses yet again, and the struggles here, they look pretty uncharacteristic for him.
You're certainly right about that. Mechanics are the key right now. Feet, arm, not in sync at all. He ends up throwing that one past his receiver that's open.
2nd and 10. Here's Jackson again. Looking left side. He's got it. Complete. And he'll be a couple yards shy of the 20 at the 18. They get 6. That'll leave them with 3rd and 4.
6 yards.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion that would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
It'll be a 39-yard punt, no return. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Here's Aaron Jones in the offense trotting back out. So after that hot start, the numbers here show the decline. What has the defense done adjustment-wise?
Sometimes when you have a running back who's gotten off to a hot start, you've got to catch him before he really gets going. So you change what you do across the defensive front. Instead of linebackers being back a few yards, you bring them up closer. It's what we call mugging the line of scrimmage. taking away a lot of blocking angles and gaps and maybe stopping him before he gets going.
Mugging the line of scrimmage, okay.
Yeah, in this case,
Certainly no settling into the drive there. They came right out on the first play and attacked the middle of the field for a big gainer and a first down.
Throwing on first down is Rodgers. Got an open man. It's Valdez-Scantling.
7 yards, the pickup there.
And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him, because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice game.
Just a yard in the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 3rd and 3. But not much on that run, Charles.
No, that's exactly the way to execute a run blitz there. They guessed correctly that they would move the ball on the ground, honed in on it, and stopped them. Mark that down for a win in the defense's column.
Open man, and that's his tight end, Jake Butt. And he is out of bounds inside the 30. It's a pickup of 6 and good enough to move the chains.
Now that's absolutely frustrating for a defender. Had a chance to get him on the ground before he got to the sideline, but what great vision and understanding where he is on the field as he headed for the marker and picked up the first down.
And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete.
Kendrick Bourne, the intended receiver,
but it'll be 2nd down.
They've given up a few first downs on this drive, but getting the incompletion there, that should give them something to build on and maybe turn the tide.
Here's Rodgers throwing quickly to the flat. Now it looks like we'll get a timeout, and we will. We've got an injured Packer on the field. We'll check on his status when we get back.
That's the reason we ball for. Circle round, fight to the encore. If you know, you know.
The Ravens bring out an extra defensive back here on 3rd. And again, it's Rodgers. He's got Adams on the hookup.
and he is going to have a Packers first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
Rodgers finding Adams for a Packer first. If you're going to blitz, likely going to leave you in man coverage with this guy, and that is less than ideal.
It is, because just about any offense that has an elite receiver, if you blitz and have him in man coverage, you're going to him, even if he has an elite defender.
And down he goes. Pressure gets him back at the 14.
It's interesting, partner, that most defenses try and guard the 35-yard line actively because they think the way kickers are nowadays, about a 52-yard field goal, they're kind of giving up points. But you get even deeper into territory, you get into the red zone, they're going to guard it even more.
And now a fumble. The ball's out, and it's picked up by the Ravens. And I think he's going to go. They're not going to get him. 20. And this is going to be brought back for a Baltimore touchdown.
Pass complete to number 48. Touchdown, Baltimore.
This was a close game. They needed a little breathing room. Boy, they got it right there on that return for a touchdown.
Yeah, we would say that this could be huge. Forget it. It was huge. Gave him a comfortable lead.
Is under review.
So we've got a challenge. Our referee's going to take another look on the tablet. He's going to be watching to see if the knee was down prior to the ball coming out.
Oh, I love what you just said there. You nailed it, because if the ball's shifting or moving before the knee or any other part of the body hits the ground, then that'll be considered a fumble.
So possession still theirs, but now they face a 3rd down.
Now after the fumble recovery, it's Rodgers. And he's got it. It's caught for a Packers touchdown. Jake Butt, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Packers have retaken the lead. And that one gives them a 3-point lead. Well, they got the ball in great field position. One play later, boom, end zone. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25.
Baltimore about ready to go on offense.
These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
He'll buy some time right.
That's taken in by Duvernay.
And all the way inside the 35 before he goes out of bounds.
Offense.
So this will be accepted as it moves the offense backwards. Play action. It's Jackson out to his left. Looking left side, Andrews with it complete. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. A gain there of 21 yards.
You know, Lamar Jackson last season, the first NFL quarterback with 3,000 or more passing yards and 1,000 or more rushing yards in the same season.
And we see both of those talents on display here today. We just saw another completed pass. And everyone knew coming out of college he could run the ball. But for some reason, we didn't analyze it throwing the way we should have. And I think every time he completes a pass, he says to himself, take that, evaluators. You guys really missed the boat on me.
With his size, he's a tough man to bring down, but they do a nice job there stopping his progress and not allowing him to get back to the line of scrimmage.
2nd and 12 now at the 44-yard line.
From the gun, Jackson flush to his right. Thrown across his body, and it's intercepted. Picked off near the 44. And to the 40-yard line, that's where the return stops. Well, he went on the move there and started rolling out. I thought there was a window, but that window closed quickly, intercepted.
And sometimes, despite how big your arm talent is, you don't get enough on a throw when you're on the move as opposed to setting your feet and stepping into one. That may have been the case there, and the defense certainly benefited.
A throw left side to start the drive is complete. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. Cool under pressure right there, escaping the pocket and finding what I think was not his primary target.
And some of these guys are just so comfortable getting outside of the pocket that they'll do it on purpose. It doesn't even need to be a breakdown. They move, and they know it affects the defense, because a lot of times you get lost in coverage in the secondary, and I think you're exactly right. Wasn't his primary target. Found a secondary guy who sprang open, probably because of his movement out of the pocket.
We're off to the 4th quarter here in Week 15. Happy holidays to all. This is the National Football League on EA Sports. Some good games going on in the early window. This might be the best of the bunch. On first down, Rodgers. He's got Jake Butt as tight end. And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. A gain of 6 there on first.
Nice rhythm throw there on first down. He located his tight end, made it a nice easy pitch and catch.
Hoping he can break a tackle or two. Wasn't able to do that there, but still good yardage. That is caught at the 7-yard line. And here he'll get it down to the 7. 6 yards on the pickup, and it leaves him with a 1st and goal.
I think a lot of people ask the same question all the time. Why do we see so many slants in the red zone? Well, the windows are tighter. Everything's more condensed. It has to be quicker, and you've got to deliver the ball on time. Your biggest worry? Ball gets tipped in the air, because if that happens, then it's fair game for the defense.
3 yards the gain there, 2nd down.
Brings up 2nd and goal at the Ravens' 4-yard line.
It's a jet sweep. This is Adams. And he will push his way forward down to about the 3-yard line.
call it a gain of a yard as they get a little bit closer here. It's 3rd and goal. Defensively, they had that one pretty well figured out.
Yeah, and one of the things about this play, it can be even more effective when you run a lot of motion, and there's plenty of times you don't hand it off.
Rodgers now on 3rd and goal. In trouble, and he'll go down back at the 12. Patrick Queen in there to get him for a loss of 9 yards, and that also leads to 4th down. Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
But what you're hoping is that you figure out and you see and get a clue that maybe there's going to be some pressure coming at you, and you change the blocking schemes. Maybe you go to max protection. The biggest one is maybe you bring your running back in to try and keep you clean. But in that case, that didn't happen. 0 accountability, and a sack resulted.
So they get the 3, but you wonder now, is that going to be enough?
Excellent question, because when I look at the smiles on that side of the field, they're a little tight, aren't they? If they had scored a touchdown there, those would be big half-moon grins right now because they feel a whole lot better about their position.
And a touchdown in the other direction, all of a sudden they're down.
25-yard line.
The Ravens heading out on offense as we look at the playoff picture in the AFC. And it's right about this time of the year that you start to say this is when the cream rises to the top. Week 15, 3 weeks left to go, but still plenty to be determined.
It certainly is, because we all know everyone is aiming for that #1 seed. But failing that, because only 2 teams in the NFL get a bye, 1 from each conference, that question becomes who's hot? Who's peaking at the right time as you start the playoffs?
It's now 2nd and 10 at the 25-yard line.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. To throw again. Jackson being chased out left. He's got his tight end complete. It's Green. And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. 12 yards there and a 1st down. They run with Edwards. And the hole closes quickly there. He gets maybe a couple up to the 38.
Ball carrier.
That was a pretty good job defensively to hold him to a 2-yard run, but I've got to think this offensive line, they're asking their quarterback for a different type of a run, one that they rely on, one they have confidence in, one they feel like they can block.
From the 38, Jackson looking left side, and he's got him in. It's Andrews.
Jackson's pass.
And he'll get it out a couple yards shy of midfield at the 48. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a 1st down.
When an offense reads blitz, doesn't matter where it's coming from, tight ends know that they become a big part of the passing game because they should be an easy outlet when all those extra bodies are trying to get to the quarterback. A hot route, so to speak.
Now he's going to swing this one out to his running back. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. 10 yards there, good enough for a Raven 1st down.
And here we are in the 4th quarter, partner, and watch them drive for what would be a go-ahead touchdown. And you and I both know this is where you need a quarterback who can keep his cool back there. Not just for himself, but to keep the rest of the team relaxed too.
So into Packer territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 42-yard line. Fights through and now a crease. And he's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on 1st down.
Well, partner, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, this intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. I just tell you from experience, the first few quarters, oh, you're eager. You come running up there, I'm going to tackle this guy. By the 4th quarter, you're coming up and thinking about it.
And D-line wearing down 4th quarter. Yeah, that's not a guy they want to see consistently. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
We've seen this quite a few times in this game. Offensive line unable to keep leverage, unable to keep people away, facing a lot of pressure. Fortunate just to get rid of it.
One of the reasons they're down is that inability to stop the pressure. We saw another example of it there. And he will have a Ravens 1st down as they're able to convert, albeit not by much, on 3rd and a yard.
I like his focus there because he wasn't thinking about breaking that one big. All he thought about was, I need one. Let's go get that. Ended up picking up 2.
They'll go back to Edwards on 1st down.
And he'll be brought down at the 27-yard line.
With the give to Gus Edwards.
It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up second down.
Well, on every play call, you realize it's not going to go for a touchdown. So a lot of your calls are setting things up for maybe later in the game, trying to establish the inside run with toughness now, hopefully get to the perimeter later. And let's face it, you could do worse than a 4-yard run on first down.
And he's just going to get rid of this thing. To no one here. He throws it away, and now it's third.
Well, I like that right there. Not only was it the right play, throwing it away like that, frankly, I think it was the only play.
Yeah, got outside of the pocket, realized he had nothing, just chucked it free.
Yeah, live to fight another down, right?
Forced out to his left. He may try and run for the... Oh, no, he lost the football. But this will get out of bounds, so possession will stay the same. 8 yards that time, able to take off, and the result is a first down. Well, obviously, you never want to fumble, but if you do, good to be towards the sideline and saves them the possession.
Saves the embarrassment, saves it going down on the play sheet as a turnover. But I still think it should go to the defense, even if they don't recover it. If you give up the football, you gave up the football.
Agree to disagree, I guess.
Can you tell what I played?
Yeah, you played defense. I'll let you go.
I took a shot.
Keep in mind, if you're thinking of staying on the ground, this is a top 5 rush defense.
Yeah, but I don't think you shy away totally with the run. At least show them the hint of a run before you decide to throw the football.
Sliding out of the pocket. To the goal line, but it's incomplete. Nothing doing there as the 13th play of the drive proves to be unlucky. Well, this drive, they're a perfect 2 of 2 on third down conversions, but they need a full 10 yards here. From the gun, it's Jackson. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked off by Jair Alexander. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
So that's back-to-back drives where they've thrown an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated right now.
Now the all-time leading rusher at Boston College, it's A.J. Dillon. He'll get about 3 as he's taken down at the 23.
Brought down.
That's it. That's what you want. Straight ahead, positive gain. Just keep that clock ticking.
Now 2nd and 7 from the 23. On play action, Rodgers. Escaping the pressure right. He's going to take off with it. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. Shotgun now for Rodgers. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down.
It's another zone defense. It looks like it's open for possibilities, but they did a nice job patrolling the middle of the field and forcing an incompletion.
The throw over the middle taken in. And they bring him to the ground just shy of midfield. 19 yards there on the catch and run.
Well, that should be a reminder defensively, and I think it's a reminder to myself because you just can't sell out to stop the run. There's still enough time that this offense can move the football through the air, even on 1st and 2nd downs, and they obviously picked the right spot to throw the ball there.
Rodgers now on 1st down. This one to the right, caught by Valdez-Scantling. And they're going to have this in a great spot way down in Baltimore territory. Big yardage after the catch. That one winds up going for 36.
We know play callers can be very creative in this game today, but sometimes when they've got receivers with speed like this, they don't need to design incredibly complex calls. Sometimes it's just get the ball in his hands and let him do his thing. In a sense, less can become more, and it was right there.
A good pickup there. 8 yards on the 1st down completion.
Brings up 2nd and 2 at the 7-yard line.
If nothing else, they've already taken a couple minutes off the clock here already as they come up 2nd down. Again, they'll throw with Rodgers. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
thrown to the sideline and incomplete. Brings up 3rd down and 2.
This is 3rd and 2. Maybe the biggest play in this football game. Rodgers again now. And he's got it. And he won't have the touchdown, but he will have the first down as he's tackled at the 2. A 5-yard gain, and now they're set up 1st and goal. He's been the go-to guy. They needed a big play there on 3rd down. Went his way. It worked out.
Doesn't matter whether they've scouted it or that they think he's going to get the ball. He has a knack for finding his way open and completing the connection.
And he's going to take it in. Touchdown, Packers. A great play there. His 6th touchdown of the season. And the Packers add on to their lead. And now they'll empty the backfield here as they elect to go for 2. A strong, determined run there, Charles, to get in for 6 points.
This is why it's such a team game, isn't it? And I know that sounds really generic and it sounds almost trite, but the blocks were made up front, offensive line, collective victory at the line of scrimmage and downfield. And how about the finish to the run all the way into the end zone?
And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. Now the Baltimore offense heading back out onto the field. And the interception thrown in the red zone last time. We'll see if they can rebound.
I just have to think the last thing he said as they went back out there was, don't do that again. What do you think?
What do you think?
Yeah, I think that. I think that not only did he say that, but he also told him, let's put it in the end zone that it's supposed to be in, all right? The end zone we're trying to score. I know we're being a little bit facetious here, but the bottom line is take care of the football, and everything else should flow from there.
Quick lesson, never ask the play-by-play guy a question.
Hey, you're my partner. I know you're right there with me.
And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Picked off by Jair Alexander. And into the end zone. It's a pick 6 and a Packer touchdown.
Alexander.
And that one will pretty much erase any hopes of a 4th quarter comeback.
With emphasis, interception, return for touchdown. Door closed, locked, reinforced.
And that one makes this a 19-point game. A heck of a play there defensively, getting the interception, navigating his way into the end zone for the touchdown. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6, and now the kick is away. Taking it about the 1. And the tackle going to be made right there at the 25-yard line.
At their own 25-yard line.
And now Baltimore gets set to take the field.
And that last pick 6 may have been the backbreaker as they now face a 3-score deficit in the 4th quarter. They need points quickly.
Back to the air, Jackson following the pick 6. Packer pressure, and down he goes. Rashawn Gary able to get in there for his 2nd sack of the afternoon.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury.
3rd down.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Jackson from the shotgun, eluding the pressure right. And Jackson cannot get away, and he'll go down.
Brandon, I think you understand the type of afternoon this offensive line is having. It is a long one for them. Long for you to spend it with me. Long for them trying to block those guys. They've given up a whole lot of sacks, and the speed and quickness that defensive line is eating them alive.
39 yards on the punt, just 2 on the return, and we have reached the 2-minute warning.
The Green Bay offense ready to take over. And this crowd has certainly liked what they've seen. Their guys fully expected to win this one coming in, and they have not disappointed as they've got the big lead here in the 4th.
And they'll work this down to the 40-yard line, tackled there. Down under 2 minutes to go in this football game. So it's Packer football here as we welcome you back. And no doubt what they're looking to do is just salt away the final couple of minutes and escape with a win. They run again with Dillon, and just no chance of turning the corner. He can only get back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10 coming up. It's rare that a man his size can't at least push forward for a yard, but they stopped him there for nothing.
You're talking about Tiny? You talking about the little guy back there? That monster. Yeah, you're exactly right. And it takes a group effort to get a guy like that down and not let him find some space. The first guy in, he's got to take one for the team, right? Because he's just waiting there and holding on for everyone else to help him out.
A big pickup of 38. Well, you hate that for him. He gets so close on the big run, but has him in excellent position.
And I know there's plenty of competitive spirit on the defensive side of the ball, but part of me wonders if they would have just preferred him to go ahead and take it into the end zone rather than dealing with him again on a likely carry on this down.
Well, they probably don't need to run a play here, but you wonder if they're going to be able to resist on 1st and goal. The defense can stop it twice more as they take a knee here.
He kept it in his hands and tried to push it across the goal line himself, but the defensive front wouldn't allow him to do so, bringing up 2nd down and a bit farther.
Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feeling they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
So for the Packers, the final 2 weeks are going to tell the story for them as they move to 9-5 with the win. And they'll have another home date next week as the Cincinnati Bengals come to town. Meanwhile, for the Ravens, the season is really nosediving now as they fall to 2-12. And they'll try to get back to their winning ways next week as they head to KC to take on the Chiefs. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. Alongside Charles Davis, we thank our entire crew. I'm Brandon Gaudin. This is the NFL on EA Sports.